Welcome to my YouTube channel. One of the question I got for my last tutorial, I get a lot on my channel. The question is, how long does it take to learn programming and become a job ready? Well, there's no single answer for that. It really depends on you and how much effort and commitment you want to put into this. So it depends on you. It's how much effort you put on it. So if you are excited to learn programming and get started with career, this career path, stay tuned to my channel and don't forget to give me thumbs up and hit the notification bell for me. And in our last class, we write our first program and we talk about Python gets how Python code gets executed. We talk about it. Just remind you what we did last in our last class. In this class, this tutorial, we are going to talk about variable. You know, I told you that my next class is going to be about variable. Now, variable in this Python tutorial, you are going to learn about variable, which are one of the most fundamental concepts in programming. They are not specifically Python only. They exist in pretty much every programming language out there. We use variable to temporarily store a data in computer's memory. Okay, let's say here is an example. Let us type. Let us type. Let us type book is equal to 5. Now, I told you we use variable to temporarily store a data in computer's memory. 5 is our data, and variable is book. And we use like let me when Python interpreter execute this code, it will allocate some memory. Some memory there. It will store the number 5 in data memory with the price we name it. That means this book, with the book we name it. I mean the book. With the book we name it. Python interpreter execute this code. It will allocate some memory, then it will store the number 5 in that memory with the book we name it. No, we name it book. For example, imagine we have a box. In that box, we have number 5 in that box, and we name it price. That's the example. We name the box price. We label the box price. That we put on the box. Now we can use this label anywhere in our program to access the value that we have in that box. This is a very simplified explanation. So we name that 5, name it book. It's our variable. We can also modify the variable. Let us print let us print the variable. Let us print it. Print Let us print the book. Now hit the play button. So it will run the program for us. You see number 5. See number 5 at the top. You see you see that this time we are not add quotation to in that between parentheses. We are not add quotation to it. If we put quotation, let's see. If we put quotation to it, let's say book, print Print book. Hit the play button. You see, this is what we are going to get if we add quotation to it. The quotation means we define string. We define string. We define string. Anything you add quotation to, that means you are defining string. We have four type of variable. We have string, integer, boolean, float. These are the type of variable we have. So let us run this program one more time. You see that the book, the second book, sorry, the second book is what we see in our terminal. We didn't see the book. We write in the second line. We wrote in the second line. We didn't see the book. We wrote in the second line using our terminal because it will give us the value we put in that book. It will not give us this book. The value we put in that book, it will give us. Since we since we since we store the value into that book, is a variable. You know that I told you that if Python interpreter see the code, it will allocate some memory to it. Then it will name it book. Whenever Python see the book without quotation, it will sense that we are talking about the book. You can also modify this. You can also upgrade it. That's what I'll put on. You see, it's 20 we see. Rotate it. So this is how we define variable. We start with the identifier, which is the name of our variable. Then an equal. The book is an identifier. Equal sign. The equal sign. And finally, value. Book, equal sign, and value. That's how we define variable in any program. Although some programs are not easy to define like this, some programming language are not easy to define like this, but Python made it easy for the user. So for beginner, you can be able to grab easily. Now, more accurately, when this number 5 is about to store in the memory first, it will get converted. It will get converted into this binary for presentation. This number 5 that we have a decimal system which has all the digital from 0 to 9. Computer don't understand all these digits. They only understand zeros and ones. So when we store the numbers, when we store the number 5 in the computer's memory, first it will get converted to its binary representation, which will be a bunch of O's and ones. Then it will get stored in the computer's memory. So let us take this program to the next level. On the second line, you can No. You can update it, you can update the book again to 30 book. Okay. Let us print book. Let's click home button. You see 13. It is updated. If I clear all these print on the top, let me clear it for you so that you know it that it's updated. It will not print this 5. It will not print this 20. The 30 it will printed for us. It will print for us. I'm sorry. Let me click run button. You see that it is only 30. It's print. You see. So yeah, this number that we have here are whole number. All this number are whole number without a decimal point. In programming, we refer to this number as integer. As I told you earlier, that we have four types of variable. What did I call it for you? I say integer, string, decimal, string, boolean, and float. So this is the integer. 5, 20, 30. They are integer. So the number that we have here are whole numbers without a decimal point. In programming, we refer to this number as integer. An integer is a number without a decimal point. We can also use number with a decimal point. For example, we can divide another variable called waiting. Let me divide another variable. Waiting. Waiting is equal to waiting is equal to 2 2 2.3. Now we refer to this kind of number as a float point number or float for short. Float for short. So we have integer and float. Integer and float. Integer at the top. Book is integer. Waiting is float. You understand? You can define a variable and set it to a string also. For example, let's name it name. Let me write my name. Joyce. This is the this is string. String. This is boolean. This is float. Written is float. Name is tree. Name is a string. Book is integer. Waiting is float. Name is string. You understand? It remain one variable, which is boolean. So we also have another kind of value which is called boolean, which can be true or false. They are like yes or no in English. Let me show you the example. Here is an example. I'm going to define a variable. You see published. No, when I press is, you see it gives me color. Is a reserved keyword. You also have in Python, but we are not going to talk about it right now. It's published. Is it published? is either we are going to write a is either true or false. So we use underscore to separate multiple words in our variable names. We set this to true or false. We can also false. These are boolean values. Now note that Python is a case sensitive language, which means it is sensitive to lower case and upper case. Let me let me show you to you. If I write false with small data, it will be gender toss. You see that it doesn't come with color. But if I write it with capital, you see now. No, Python is a case sensitive language, which means it is sensitive to lower case and upper case. So when defining variables, we should always use lower case. You see, all the variables I'm defining from the beginning is lower case. You see all of them. When we define a variable, we should always use lower case letters. But false and true. This false, line 8, this false are special keyword. They are reserved keyword in the language. So if we spell it with lower case f, Python does not understand it. So in this programming, you are storing simple value in our computer memory. Simple value can be number, it can be integer, it can be float, or they can be string or boolean. So let me run this for you. Okay, let me run float. Let me run waiting. Print float is the name of that variable, but I just name it waiting. You can name our variable whatever we want, anything. Waiting. Let me also print this out. My name. Print name. And also print. You see that immediately I add underscore to it, it's changed to white. Immediately I add underscore to it, it's changed to white. Published. Published. Okay, let me print them for you. You see, this force 2.3. So, but in Python we can also store complex value like list, tuple, and values multiple data in one multiple data in one variable like this. You can also store multiple data like that. So that's what I'm going to show you in the future. Before we end this class, I want you to do a little exercise. Imagine you are going to write a program for a hospital. So we check an patient named John Smith. Patient name John Smith is a 20 years old and is a new patient. I want you to define three variables here. So pause the tutorial now. Come back with your solution and come and see my solution too. I'm going to I'm going to write it. Check Checking, checking the patent. Checking the patent named John Smith or Joyce Salam Adeniyi. Salam Adeniyi. Salam Adeniyi is is 20 years old and is a new patent. Now let's let's define that variable. I hope that you have done your own. So see my solution and compare it with the variable you define. Full name, full name is equal to Salam Adeniyi. Age is equal to 20 years, equal to 20 years. Is new, is it new patent? Yes. Our true stand for yes. This is the solution of what I told you to do. So full name, age is new patent. You see the way I I do my own. So I'll see you in the next class. Okay. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.